Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. Welcome to the 9 p.m. news telecast of the prestigious channel of Sri Lanka. I'm Moin Hetjanachi.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines. Former Chief Minister of the North Central Province S.M. Ranjith and his private secretary sentenced to 16 years imprisonment. Distribution of official poll cards of the local government elections will be held from the 16th to the 29th of this month. Sri Lanka grants $1 million to Myanmar. All measures are finalized for the Indian Prime Minister's visit to Sri Lanka. Minister Nalinda Jayatissa says the competitive examination to fill vacancies of equal health services will be held in the last week of this month. Government focuses attention to import rice to ease rice shortages. The proposal to appoint an investigation committee to remove Deshabandhu Tendakon from the IGP post presented to Parliament on the 8th of this month. A ministerial committee appointed to study the matters regarding the imposing of sanctions for 4 Sri Lankans by the UK. Israel has intensified operations in the Gaza Strip.
Now to those and more stories in detail on today's top story. Former Chief Minister of the North Central Province S.M. Ranjith and his private secretary Shanti Tandatena have been sentenced to 16 years of rigorous imprisonment.
They were subjected to this sentence since they were proven guilty to 2 allegations filed by the Bribery Commission under the charges of corruption. Colombo High Court Judge Aditya Patabandige has given this a verdict following a long period of hearing. Each respondent were imposed fines worth 200,000 rupees as well. The High Court judge further said that if they fail to pay the fines, additionally, 2 years rigorous imprisonment will be given to each respondent. The respondent S.M. Ranjith, as the Chief Minister of the North Central Province during the period of 27 September 2012 to December 31st, 2014, had received fuel worth over 2.6 million rupees as fuel allowances in an illegal manner. The Bribery Commission has filed this case citing this incident under the charge of corruption. It was revealed during the hearing of the case that he has misused an amount of 16,784 litres of fuel. Giving the verdict, Colombo High Court Judge Aditya Patabandige stated that the respondents are proven guilty for 2 offences. The judge further said that the public representatives, state and judiciary officials who have been proven guilty for such offences cannot be given simple punishments. Therefore, they will be sentenced with the maximum punishment under the capacity of the law. The judge further said that the respondents would be able to appeal against the verdict. In addition, the judge ordered to get the fingerprints of the respondents.
Postmaster General Ruan Satkumara says that the distribution of official poll cards of the local government election will be conducted from the 16th to the 29th of this month. The persons who do not receive the official poll cards during this period are able to get them from the relevant post offices after the 29th. Postmaster General said that the election department has taken measures to hand over the sealed post-voting packets that are included with the postal ballot papers to the postal department on the 7th of April. Although election department was ready to hand over the official poll cards to the postal department on the 10th and 11th of April due to the security problem, under the request of the parliament they will be handed on the 16th. The delivery of the remote areas may be on the 17th of April. Official poll cards will be delivered to households till the 29th of the month. 20th and the 27th will be used as special dates for delivering the postcards, and leaving the postal officials have been cancelled since the 7th of this month.
Sri Lankan government today declared a donation of $1 million to provide relief to the earthquake victims in Myanmar. Minister Vijitha Herath officially informed this donation to Myanmar Deputy Prime Minister U Than Sway in a telephone conversation. Minister Vijitha Herath also informed that Sri Lanka is ready to provide assistance with medical and relief services team and a disaster management team for the people in Myanmar. Myanmar Deputy Prime Minister Than Shwe expressed his gratitude to Sri Lanka for the assistance extended at this difficult moment. Deputy Minister Arun Hemachandra has also held a discussion with the Myanmar Deputy Prime Minister in Bangkok, Thailand. Sri Dalada Maligawa, Malwata and Askeriya chapters have jointly taken measures to grant a sum of 15 million rupees for the affected people in Myanmar under the patronage of Mahanayaka Theras of Malwata and Askeriya chapters. Meanwhile, a program to collect aid for the affected people in Thailand as well as implement under the patronage of the Mahasangha. The religious observances to convey merits to the dead and invoke blessings to the affected people from the earthquake, which was held at the Sri Dalada Maligawa premises today. It has been organized under the patronage of Anunayaka Theras of the Malwata chapter, Venerable Niyangoda Vijitha Venerable Dimbul Kumbure Siri Saranankara, and Anunayaka Theras of the Asgiriya chapter, Venerable Anamadue Dhammadasi and Venerable Vendaruwe Upali. Diyawada Nilame Pradeep Nilangadala and Myanmar Ambassador Than Tek Malar were also present. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Amarapura and Ramanya chapter Mahasangha Collective has also started a program to collect aid for the affected people in Myanmar. A media briefing in this connection was held today. Aid items is to be collected until the 8th of this month and later sent to that country. About 5 centers will be set up covering the entire 25 districts of the country. People can donate the items requested by the Embassy of Myanmar to these centers. The relevant items can be given to the center close to your area. If anyone wishes to donate money, a bank account has been opened. Money can be deposited in that account and relevant recipient should be sent to the WhatsApp number issued to the media.
බාර දෙන්න ඍජුවම මුදල් පරිත්‍යාග කරන්න අදහසක් තියෙනවා නම් නව ගිණුමක් අපි ආරම්භ කරලා තියෙනවා බැංකුගත කරලා ඒ රිසිට් පත මාධ්‍යට නිකුත් කරලා තියෙන WhatsApp අංකයට එවන හැටියට අපි කාරුණිකව දැනුවත් කරනවා.
All Island Sasanarakshaka Balamandalaya has decided to organize an island-wide Pindapata Charika to collect aid and raise funds for the affected people in Myanmar. In the meantime, Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that during the Indian Prime Minister's visit in Sri Lanka, several bilateral agreements including the sectors of power and energy, health, digital economy, defence are scheduled to be signed between the two countries.
The minister made these remarks during the Cabinet press briefing held at the Government Information Department today. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will arrive in the island on the 4th of this month. He will be welcomed at the Independence Square on the 5th of April. After that, two leaders will hold bilateral talks. Later, both the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Sri Lankan President Anukumara Dissanayake will clarify to the media over the bilateral talks. Later, the two leaders will implement solar power projects and provide solar power systems to several religious places in the country. They also opened a cool house in Dambulla on the Colombo. On the 6th of this month, the Indian leader will receive the Sri Baladamo, their promises in Anuradhapura. The Indian Prime Minister is also open to the railway signal system that is under Indian aid. The two countries are expected to sign several bilateral agreements on several sectors including power and energy, health, digital economy, defence and during the tour.
Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that during the Indian Prime Minister's visit to Sri Lanka, several bilateral agreements including the sectors of power and energy, health, digital economy, defence are scheduled to be signed between the two countries. The minister made these remarks joining the Cabinet press briefing held at the Government Information Department today. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Narendra Jayatissa said that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will arrive in the island on the 4th of this month. He will be welcomed at the Independence Square on the 5th of April. After that, the two leaders will hold bilateral talks. Later, both Indian Prime Minister and the Sri Lankan President will clarify the media over their bilateral talks. Later, the two leaders will implement a solar power project and provide solar power systems to several religious places in the country. They will also open a cool house in Tambula from Colombo. On the 6th of this month, the Indian leader will visit Sri Mahabodhi premises in Anuradhapura. The Indian Prime Minister will also open the railway signal system installed under Indian aid. The two countries expect to sign several bilateral agreements on several sectors, including power and energy, health, digital economy, defence during the tour.
The Food Policy and Security Committee has recommended to import rice in future with the aim of providing rice to consumers without shortage. The Food Policy and Security Committee met at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday for the fifth occasion under the patronage of Ministers K.D. Lalkantha and Vasant Samarasinghe. Although the paddy harvesting season started in many areas in the island, it has been noted that there is an increase of price of rice in market at present. It is also reported that some varieties of rice are in short supply. Accordingly, the Food Security Committee has discussed to focus the attention of the Cabinet of Ministers to import rice with the aim of maintaining adequate stocks. Due to the heavy rains prevailing in the past few months of the year, damages occurred to the paddy cultivation in two occasions. It has been prevailed that therefore the expected harvest has decreased considerably. Using the rice for manufacturing of animal food is a major reason to let the shortage of rice. The committee focused its attention on importing of broken rice for the animal food and using substitute food for animals. The Animal Food Security Committee also recommended to appointing another committee to decide the proper strategies to import required amount of broken rice. The committee is effective under the patronage of the Director of Agriculture.
The Committee for Parliamentary Affairs has decided that the proposal for appointing investigation committee on removing suspended IGP Deshabandhu Thennakon from his post should be presented in Parliament on the 8th of this month. The relevant committee met today under the patronage of Speaker Dr. Jagat Wickramaratne. The Parliament will 9th and 10th of this month. The proposal on appointing an investigation committee for removing Deshabandhu Thennakon from his post is to be passed in the evening of Tuesday, the 8th of this month. The two-day debate regarding the Batlanda Commission report, which has been tabled in Parliament recently, will also be scheduled to commence on the 10th of this month.
A petition was presented to the CID today requesting to hold an investigation on the Batalanda torture house. It was presented by the eyewitness of the Batalanda torture house, Indranath D. Silva. He went to the CID this morning to hand over the petition. Indranath D. Silva said that a military photographer, he saw many brutal activities during the terror period of 1989-1990. He further said that he was taken into many torture camps in the country, including the Batalanda torture camp. Indranath D. Silva said that in 1996 he handed over the affidavit to Attorney General mentioning the details of the atrocities in the torture camps. He accused that no action was taken regarding the matter. Indranath D. Silva said that today he handed over the same eyewitness account to the CID to conduct an inquiry and bring clarity to the book.
There are several obstacles and threats to increasing the productivity of agricultural crops, with climate change being a major factor.
To face such challenges and achieve high quality and high yield produce, new farming concept has been developed.
According to this concept, the country's most advanced urban vertical market operates through a modern technological system. This vertical farming project is being implemented under the Sri Lanka Board of Investments. The project was initiated in 2019 by the Urban Agro Company with World Bank assistance. What makes this project unique is its use of a technological system for controlling light, air circulation and water supply necessary for farming activities. The water used is purified and free of chemical compounds, and it is mixed with fertilizers to provide nutrients for crops grown vertically in containers. To access accelerate plant growth, high-efficiency LED grow lights are used. The farm grows both local and foreign leafy vegetables. There are plans to expand with other crops such as beans and strawberries, among others. One of the special features of this farm is a specialized greenhouse system which allows the growing of well-cultivated seedlings in containers and their export. The produce from this vertical farm is entirely free from pesticides and pollution. Food safety and hygiene are of the highest standards, and these products can be consumed even without cleaning. Furthermore, this system is easily attractive to international markets. To date, the farm has produced over 16,000 units of produce. The use of modern technology has enabled the farm to increase its yield fourfold compared to its initial output. Experts note that the yield from 1 square foot of vertical farming in this system is comparable to the yield from 50 square feet in traditional farming. By ensuring that the necessary factors for the crops are provided in the right time frame, it has been possible to achieve faster and more efficient yields. This method allows for year-round cultivation, providing a continuous supply to the market, which is a significant advantage. The Sri Lanka Board of Investment encourages both domestic and foreign investors in such projects aimed to bring in more foreign currency for the country. In the meantime, Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that the competitive exams for the Allied Health Service will be held at the end of this month. The sectors that has less applicants than the number of vacancies have already been recruited at present. At a press briefing held in Government Information Department, the minister made these remarks. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the government has commenced the process of filling the vacancies in the allied health services sector by conducting competitive exams. However, audiologists and radiologists have been directly recruited without exams, as the number of applications were less than the existing vacancies. Competitive exams will be held to recruit lab technicians, physiotherapists and speech therapists at the end of this month. In the meantime, attention of the Cabinet of Ministers have been drawn on the decisions taken by the United Kingdom to impose sanctions on 4 Sri Lankan individuals recently. Therefore, the Cabinet of Ministers has decided to appoint a committee comprised of Ministers Vijitha Herath, Harshana Nanayakara and Deputy Minister Aruna Jayasekara to submit a report with recommendations to the Cabinet of Ministers on further measures to be taken after studying the facts in this regard, and to empower the committee to obtain service of any officer intellect deemed to have subject expertise in the relevant field and considered essential. The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval to the resolution furnished by the President in his capacity as the Minister of Finance, Policy Planning and Economic Development to submit the said revised Aswasuma Welfare Benefit Payment Scheme to the Parliament for its concurrence. The revised Aswasuma Welfare Benefit Payment Scheme has been published by the Extraordinary Gazette notification. Considering the long-term close relationship between the two nations as two Buddhist states, the Cabinet of Ministers has decided to render contribution of Sri Lankan people as follows for providing relief to the Myanmar people, providing finance of the United States $1 million, the dry rations collected with the guidance of Buddhist theories to be transported immediately to the Myanmar people, with the mediation of the government, and a group of relief services comprised of medical officers and other members of the health staff to be stationed at alert for immediate departure to Myanmar at any time. The Electricity Act No. 36 of 2024 will be amended. The Cabinet Ministers approved the resolution furnished by the Minister of Power in preparation of a draft bill to amend the Electricity Act. The draft bill will be prepared based on the recommendations of the final report, which includes the proposed amendments for the Electricity Act. The regional office of the Department of Immigration and Emigration is established at present within the district of Vavuniya of the Northern Province. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the resolution furnished by the Minister of Public Security and Parliamentary Affairs to establish the proposed regional office of the Department of Immigration and Emigration within the District Secretariat premises of Jaffna within this month. This step have been taken for the convenience of the people in Jaffna, Kilinochchi and Mullaitivu districts. International competitive bids have been invited for the supply of 340,000 50-milliliter bottles of 20% human albumin solution, which is utilized for treating hypovolemia and low level of blood albumin. 2 bidders have forwarded bids in this connection. Therefore, the Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal furnished by the Minister of Health and Mass Media to award the procurement to Indian companies subject to the recommendation of the higher-level Standing Procurement Committee.
Minister Myanmar Ratnayake says that the local government bodies should be made corruption and fraud-free institutions in this election. He made these remarks while joining a public rally held in Vanathamulla area today. The rally was held at Vanathamulla grounds. The NPP Colombo mayoral candidate Virali Kali Baltasar was also present at this meeting. NPP Colombo mayor candidate Virali Kali Baltasar said that they believe that under the leadership of the NPP, justice can be meted out to individuals living in the Colombo town. Minister Myanmar Ratnayake says that the period of 6 months of period of President, Prime Minister and parliamentarians do not grab the public wealth. All money saved by uncorrupted representatives, the government can enhance the welfare of the children of the people and increase the salaries of public servants.
National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa says that the aim of his party is to build up the economy of the country through building up the rural economy. He made these remarks at a rally held in Polonnaruwa. A meeting of the SLPP local government candidates of the Polonnaruwa district was also held yesterday at Giritale area. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa said that the SLPP is dedicated to welfare of the rural people. Chandrika Bandaranayaka's Samurdhi movement, Mahinda Rajapaksha's ERA, Gamanagama and Jathika Savia projects always dedicated to the development of villages. The national economy can only be built up by strengthening the farmer and labourers of the village areas.
Sri Lanka Transport Board says that special transport plan will be implemented from the 10th to the 21st of this month for the convenience of the people who visit their native places for the Sinhala and Tamil New Year season. The board says the plan will be implemented on these 2 stages. Deputy General Manager of Sri Lanka Transport Board, PHRT Chandasiri, said that the first stage will be implemented from the 10th to the 14th of April. The second stage will be implemented from the 15th to the 21st of the month to provide transport facilities for people who went to the village areas to come back to Colombo and the reach other provinces. The transport services will be effective based on the multimodal transport centre at Bangura and Kadawatha. Buses will also be deployed in additional routes. Special exposition of the Sacred Tooth Relic has also been arranged under state patronage. The SLTB has also drawn plans to implement transport services for this occasion as well.
මේ අවශ්‍යතා දෙකටම අදාළව අපි ප්‍රවාහන සැලැස්ම ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න දැනට සැලසුම් ගත වෙලා තිබෙනවා.
Meanwhile, Railway General Manager Dhammika Jayasundara said that the special train services will be operating targeting the upcoming festive season. Railway General Manager Dhammika Jayasundara said that during the festive season in April, Railway Department has decided to provide more comfortable tourist attractive services. Accordingly, on Tuesday, Calypso train runs from Nanway to Alla. 8 trains will be deployed daily targeting the Candy City during the Tooth Relic exhibition. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
மனிதாபிமானம் நிறைந்த சமுதாயத்திற்கு சுற்றுச்சூழலை நேசிப்பவராக இருப்போம்.
நமது கடமைகளை நிறைவேற்றி தூய்மையான நகரத்தை பாதுகாப்போம்.
சொர்க்கத்தின் வாழ்வுதனை வாழ்ந்திட நுவரெலியாவிற்கு அழைக்கின்றோம். இது உங்கள் நகரம்.
Moving on to news overseas now, the UNICEF organization stated that the breakdown of the ceasefire and resumption of intense bombardments and ground operations in the Gaza Strip has reportedly left at least 322 children dead.
The United Nations Agency for Children stated that at least 322 children were reported dead since Israel launched a renewed offensive in Gaza on 18th March. Furthermore, at least 609 other children were reportedly injured during the same period. UNICEF stated that a daily average of around 100 children killed or maimed over the past 10 days. The officials stated that figures provided by the Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry have been consistently disputed by Israel. However, the United Nations and several other international institutions have affirmed the accuracy of these figures. Since the war began more than 18 months ago, 150,000 children have reportedly been killed and over 340,000 injured.
We now move on to sports news. The CRNFC team successfully qualified for the final match of the MasterCard Interclub Clifford Cup Knockout Championship 2025 by defeating the Havelock team by a single point in the second semi-final match held today.
The match took place at the Havelock Sports Complex. During the match, Havelock team scored 24 points, which included 3 tries, 3 conversions and a penalty kick. The CRNFC team scored 25 points, consisting of 3 tries, 2 conversions and 2 penalty kicks. Therefore, the second semi-final of the Clifford Cup Interclub Rugby Tournament ended with a 25-24 victory for the CRNFC team. Winning team scored 2 tries, 2 goals and 2 penalty kicks. As a result, the Kandy team is set to compete with the CRNFC final, a match scheduled for the 6th of April at the Nithavala Rugby Stadium in Kandy. That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.